Hi everyone, so as you know, I've been doing my coffee and cake series where I went round to a series of establishments drinking coffee and cakes and then rating my experience. So one of the things that I really enjoyed about the experience was just how interesting it was to go to the different coffee shops and just see how people are serious about their coffee. Let me just say that. Not only is it a billion pound industry in the UK, but also it's just the fact that, you know, serious coffee drinkers, you could tell. So if you went at specific times, like I did a few times during before work, you would see how like intense people were. And then if you go at lunchtime as well, you would also see that there's all sorts of things. You have people that are going in there doing their work on their laptop, people that are just going into there to relax. But yeah, so I just want to say that I went to 10 coffee shops in the end. Some of them were coffee shops, actually. A few of them were establishments. So I went to Mowgli Restaurant in Grand Central, Birmingham, Knight's Coffee House, which is in Birmingham, Rising Cafe, which is in Aston, Birmingham, Cafeelia, which is in Moseley in Birmingham, Elio Cafe, which is in the Mailbox, Java Roastery, which is near to town and Birmingham City Centre, Number One Coffee, which is also near Birmingham City Centre, One Coffee, which is in Newtown, Coffee Tales, which is in the Jewellery Quarter, and Brew House Kitchen, which is in Sutton. So all I'm going to do is kind of just give ratings, not ratings because I've done the ratings video, but just an overall awards really for the best cakes and that sort of thing. So the best cake, I think I'm going to have to do a joint winner for that. So my favourite cake was Elio Cafe, which after I did my review, lots of people actually went to that cafe and said that they loved it. So Elio Cafe in the Mailbox, beautiful chocolate cake. It was a nice thick slice, and literally it took me 3 days to eat it because I did not want to eat it. I didn't want to finish it because it was so gorgeous. So it was moist, it was juicy. It was actually that is probably the best cake I've ever tasted. So it was Oreo chocolate cake, but in combination with that, I have to give praise to Java Roastery, their carrot cake. I've been back 3 times so far to have a slice of their carrot cake. Again, a nice thick slice. It was only like, I think it's $3.95, or in fact, was it $3.75? Really tasty, put a lot of homemade effort into it. And the other one, which I know I shouldn't have free, Knight's Coffee House, their banana cake. Now, it was just so tasty because it was a cake, sponge cake, but it had banana flavourings in there. So it was not like banana bread, it was literally like a cake. I can't even describe it, but it was gorgeous. That was actually the nicest banana cake I've tasted. So they're the winners for the cakes. Elio Cafe for their chocolate cake, Java Roastery for their carrot cake, and Knight's Coffee House for their banana cake. So service, let's talk about service. Number 1 for service, Elio Cafe again. Now, I'll tell you the reason why is because I went in there at like 8 o'clock in the morning. So imagine it was packed with like commuters before they go to work. You had people coming and going, so it was very packed. Despite this, the service was fantastic. Nice greeting, welcoming, asked me what I wanted, served really quickly to the table, smiles, said bye when I left. And this was despite how packed it was. You felt special going into Elio Cafe. I would go there again. I felt really comfortable in there, really relaxed. So that's why they get the award for service. So in terms of the worst service, because I'm not really going to do worst for all of them, I have to say that some of these coffee shops I was really surprised with. So Cafeelia, I have to talk about that because I went into that Moseley Cafe, and I used to live in Moseley, so I understand that it's very much like Moseley Village and everyone knows each other. However, I was surprised at the bad service. I walked in and they're in the middle of conversations with customers, and it took about 5 to 10 minutes before I was even acknowledged that I'd walked in. After that, she was kind of asking me what I want quickly, got my order, then carried on talking to lots of other people. I sat and nothing came over to me. Then eventually she brought the coffee over, then didn't bring the cake. 10 minutes later, I'm still waiting for my cake. She's having these gossipy chats with, staff. And then I had to go up and say, could you bring my cake over? Now, I've never had to do that before. So to me, I don't think that's acceptable. And I just felt like it was like a cliquey type thing. They've got their customers that come in there regularly. You shouldn't go into a coffee shop, or any shop to be fair, if you're spending money and not feel special. So that's why Cafeelia is not somewhere that I would say was good service. In terms of all the others, service-wise, yeah, it was good. I can't complain about any of the other service. Oh, yeah, sorry, I can. Brew House Coffee. Coffee. So Brewhouse Coffee was not an establishment that we were planning on going to, me and my sister. It was for my sister's birthday. We went somewhere else, but that didn't look too good. So we changed our mind. We went to Brewhouse Kitchen, I think it's called. First of all, they messed up the order because they overcharged us. So that's a no-no, you know, to overcharge. I thought, how's this come up to this amount of money? So we had to go back up. Fair enough, they dealt with it properly, but they shouldn't have done it in the first place. But the service-wise was just, it was all over the place. The table was dirty. So that's another thing. The food was stale. Like, my sister ordered food and it just was grubby, stale. She feels it was from the day before. They didn't really come over and check how's everything. It just felt like they couldn't be bothered. They couldn't be bothered with cleaning the table. They couldn't be bothered with presenting nice food. They couldn't be bothered with checking on their customers. So for me, if you're not going to treat me special in your establishment, then I'm not going to return. I'm not going to make a big deal if there's nothing to complain about. I just won't come back. So yeah, the service wasn't very good. So let's talk about, so we've done the cakes, coffee. I need to talk about the coffee. So every establishment I've been into, there's usually, you'll either get the basic, in certain coffee shops you have the range. I mean, you can have all types of gorgeous different types of coffees which you may never try before. In ordinary places, I'll just go for the cappuccino or the mocha because they're in every establishment. Now, Java Roastery, obviously they're a specialist in coffee, that's why they're a roastery. Spanish latte. I googled it. I googled the different types of lattes. I was so excited because they said it was sweet, it's creamy, it's something like 600 calories just for a cup of it. Everyone was talking about this Spanish latte. It's the only establishment actually that sells it, and that's because obviously they specialise. Oh my gosh, it was the most tastiest coffee, creamiest that I've ever had in my life. I sat there even before my carrot cake arrived and I was just drinking it, and I was just like, I could do with another one, except I'm not going to pay another £6. It was something like £6 a cup. Absolutely beautiful. So if you want to try something different, Spanish latte. There's lots of different lattes. You've got the vanilla latte, you've got all the rest, but the Spanish latte, there was just something about that. So that was my favourite coffee. An overall experience now, or atmosphere. The weirdest atmosphere was Coffee Tales. That was my first one, but I just thought it was really eerie. There was no music playing. Actually, Coffee Tales and Number One Coffee were both weird. You just go in there, there's no like music, there's a bit weird atmosphere. It's a very small place, Coffee Tales, and you've got like 4 people were in there, and it was like a wake or a morgue in there. It was so like no one talking, no music, and just 5 random people all just sat in this. Probably because it was my first one and I wasn't used to like what was going to happen. I found that really strange. So atmosphere wise, out of all of them, I'd say Elio Cafe, great atmosphere. I could have sat in there for a while. Java Roastery, loved the atmosphere because I sat in there, felt comfortable, felt like I could sit there for a while. Knight's Coffee as well, I could sit in there. And Mowgli, I forgot to mention them as well about service, Mowgli restaurant for the service. But yeah, overall, I'd have to say out of all of the ones on my list, I'm going to have to say Elio Cafe gets the top spot. It had everything. It had the service, it had the nice cake, it had the like decent coffee, it had the right atmosphere, and it was beautifully decorated. So yeah, that gets the number 1 spot, Elio Cafe. But yeah, I've really enjoyed it, and I may do something similar towards the end of the year, whether I check out go for lunch, whether I check out cocktails. I might do something different. If you've got an idea of what you want me to do, then let me know, and then maybe I'll take that on board. Thanks for watching. Bye.